Valerie Steele is our chief curator and director of the museum. But I think in the world of fashion studies and in the museum world, she's quite an iconic figure, really. She has taken her research and her passion for the context of fashion and really created an area of study that people really do pursue.
I was tremendously pleased when Susie Menkes described me as the Freud of fashion, because what she meant was that I was looking to try and find out what was behind fashion, what was it really about, the interpretation of dress. And when I first began working on fashion in graduate school, it was not regarded as an intellectually serious topic at all. This was back in the dark ages in the 1970s. One of the things that intrigued me about studying the corset was the fact that it was so controversial. People really hated the corset, and yet women wore corsets for 400 years. The more I studied, though, the more I realized that fashion in general was seen as being controversial, primarily because it was associated with women and with women's bodies and identities, which everyone wanted to control. So studying fashion provides a really interesting way of looking not only at our society, but particularly about the role of women in our society and culture. Well, my favorite exhibition is always the next exhibition. I mean, I have many past favorites. I love doing the corset, I love doing Gothic dark glamour, but right now I'm working on a big exhibition that will open in September 2018 called Pink, the history of a punk, pretty, powerful color. And I've become very excited. We'll have almost 100 pink dresses and fashions on display for 300 years of pink in different cultures. It's becoming much more androgynous, much more politicized. But this is still contested. When they had the Women's March in Washington, one journalist for the Washington Post warned, "Sisters, back away from the pink. It may look cute, but questions are too serious to wear just a goofy kind of hat." So I'm thinking that pink now has many political connotations and sexual and gender connotations that are more complicated than the way it used to be seen.
Because of her interest and passion and scholarly work, she has really raised the profile of the museum at FIT. Beyond that, as she moves in the international circles that she does, because she is really viewed as an expert, it allows us to attract scholars from all over the world to come and speak to our audiences, either through our colloquia that Valerie does in fact run, or the symposia that we've been able to put together that has become more and more popular. And really also the opportunity that it gives the college to be viewed on a much larger scale.
FIT's changed me a lot because I've built an amazing team at the museum. When I came here, there were some talented people, but it wasn't a really modern and professional museum team. Now it's an amazing team. It means a great deal to me to be honored by SUNY, and particularly because research and teaching and service to the college really have been important to my mission here. I think that the museum is an amazing educational tool and an inspirational tool for students. One of the nicest things an FIT student ever said to me was that sometimes she liked to come to the museum by herself and just sit in the exhibition and look around and remind herself why she wanted to come here in the first place, that it was a source of inspiration and pleasure. So I think that that's really gratifying. That ability to be able to communicate to people, because everybody believes him or herself capable of understanding fashion. So it's a tremendously exciting way to communicate all kinds of complicated ideas about gender and politics and the environment, but using something that we all understand.